Arise, Sir Jacob Ramsey.
Yes.
What
absolutely.
an absolute peach that was. Just everything that we were talking about, everything that we were saying that he needs to do, that epitomised everything that that we've been talking about that we want to see from him.
Welcome back to the Aston Villa podcast. Every week we follow. Starting on a positive note, Aston Villa 2, Norwich City 0. Way. Cheers. We'll come on. We'll just carry on with that because we'll come to the ribble rabble in a bit.
Yeah. Arise, Sir Jacob Ramsey.
Yes.
What
absolutely.
an absolute peach that was. Just everything that we were talking about, everything that we were saying that he needs to do, that epitomised everything that that we've been talking about that we want to see from him. What? Oh mate, he's the 1-2, and then he's picked up the ball on the halfway line. You're thinking where's he going to go, and usually you kind of see him angle towards the corner flag, wouldn't you? And try and play it a little bit safe and just try and hold it up a little bit and maintain and try and keep possession. But
look for Ollie.
But exactly, but fortunately, he's whether it's Stevie G saying, just have a go. I was watching it on BT, and Bonlaw tried to take a bit of credit, saying, I messaged him. I messaged him saying you need to go for goal, take some shots.
That's what's caused it then, isn't it?
Well, he got interviewed after the game. Did you see? He got interviewed after the game. Oh, and Gabby reckons this, and he's like, oh yeah, I'll give him credit. He's in the his head is clearly thinking, what the hell are you getting involved, mate?
Yeah, he's just the lack of brain cells in that bloke's head. It really comes across when you put him under the spotlight on TV. It's pretty outrageous. But look, take nothing away from that. He's shaped it well, and he's put it where he needs to. He's always got took out by the pole behind the goal. Did you see that as well? Did you not notice that?
Yeah.
Celebrating. He's almost made an absolute tit of himself. He's almost scored the best goal. He scored the best goal of his career, possibly ever. And then he's ran around the back of the goal, and the poles that keep the nets up. He's almost smashed into one of them. Yeah, if you look it back, you'll see it, and that could have been a real
great celebration. He's all of us there, though, isn't he? I'm doing exactly that. He didn't know what to do for himself.
Bless him. Full on point, kiss the match, stay there, wait for everyone to go, and then went
Instagram shot. Yeah,
there was about 4 or 5 celebrations in one, but you would do if you just scored an absolute belter like that. He's carried it superbly. Little. Yaya Toure-esque kind of run. He was just going. Absolutely buzzing with that. And then, the rest of the game was pretty much probably a shakier start to the second half, where we didn't look as in control as we was in the first half. But look, you know what, 2-0 should have been more. Could have been more. Carney's came on, grabbed his assist as well. He's doing his talking with his feet now.
Yeah,
it's great to
Silenced
see.
us.
It was a real good job, well done, and it pleased me. And I mean this with no disrespect to Norwich and Dean Smith, but they're a championship side, and they're pretty bang average. But a year ago, we were losing to those bang average championship sides that were still in this division. We dropped points at home to West Brom, lost away at Sheffield United in one of the most frustrating games of the season, where we threw away Europe. Burnley at home, Burnley away. They were the type of games that were banana skins for us last season, and I'd have said a month ago, Norwich away on a Tuesday night on the telly, we'll lose that. But we never looked in any danger. They had a spell in the second half, and I'm not a massive fan of a 1-0 lead, just because of the way I've been brought up as a Villa fan. I don't really like 2 or 3-0 leads either as a Villa fan, because we're capable of chucking them. But I never really thought we looked in danger, and the second goal was welcomed, and it was a real professional job done. 3 points and on to the next, and characteristic of what Steven Gerrard's introduced to the club so far.
Yeah, no, I can't disagree with anything there. I think pretty certain I said that drop JJ, didn't I, last week? Did I say that?
Actually,
you wanted Samson, didn't you?
Yeah, well, you know what? Thank God I'm not the manager. But yeah, I think what you saw from JJ there, I think the last few weeks when he's been playing that wider position, he has been a bit isolated. Put him in his preferred position. I think he's a real top player, and I think he showed his ability in that centre midfield role against Norwich. I think that the whole team we were just a step above Norwich, weren't we? We were just a better team, weren't we? Douglas Luiz was exceptional in CDM. Again, I didn't want him playing there, but he was superb. Buendia, the one-touch passing, the confidence. We're starting to see it now, and we were the elite team. There's no way. Look at we were the elite team on and off the pitch. Our tactical changes made the difference again. Carney's come on, he's made a bit of an impact. And we were just a better team. It's as simple as that.
I thought Buendia, we kind of called it, like we knew he'd be chomping at the bit, we were saying, to come and play at Norwich. But I tell you what, the first half an hour, when he was just zipping it around everywhere, first touch, he was really on it. Unfortunately, he couldn't maintain it for the whole game. I think he got a bit of a knock in the second half as well. But that showed a little bit more about what he's about. Some of, like you say, his first time touches, and some of the nutmeg on Cantwell as well. He was just absolutely effortless. I think he crossed one in like the first 30 seconds as well, but he was right in front of the away fans, and he's got his head, he's got his foot about the same height as his head,
pulled it back,
and just slapped an absolute outrageous ball across the face of goal. I mean, if Matty Cash was putting that across, I mean, you'd be dreaming. But I mean, look, fantastic. I mean, Buendia, exactly what you want to see from him.
I've got to give him a lot of credit because I criticised him a month ago, and so did you, Reece. It was valid at the time, but he's doing what every good player should do, and that's prove us wrong. Seems to have got his head down. He's finally at the fitness levels that you'd expect. Still coming off with 10 minutes to go, but I think that was more just because I think he'd done his job, and it was time for some fresh legs. But he's really starting to influence and run games now and justifying why we signed him. And it was going to take time. It's still a bit worrying that he's the only one out of the 3 big money signings in the summer that seems to have found his feet now. But that's been injuries more so than anything. So no, I'm really pleased with him, and long may it continue. Yeah, no,
it's exactly what you wanted. I just think the tactical changes in games, they're just so well timed, aren't they? I don't think there's one game where he hasn't made a sub on the 64th, 65th minute. His changes are always spot on for me. And when you got, it was supposed to be, quite a heavy, congested, period. You have to use your squad, and he does it really, really well. And this is without any signings yet as well. So when he brings his own players, I've got full confidence that we're only going to improve on this manager. Look, it's early doors. I don't want to get too carried away, but I do think we've stumbled on a real top manager here. And I think it's one of those ones that around 10 years' time, you'll look back and think, how did we manage to get him? Because I think he's going to be one of the elites. I do. I think it's as simple as that.
Go on then. Yeah.
But to be fair, I think we managed to get him. And I agree with you, Reece. I think we could be onto an absolute winner here. Steven Gerrard needed us as much as we needed Steven Gerrard. And I think the longer it's going on, and he's getting settled in and finding his feet, the more obvious that is. It's a really good fit for both club and manager. He's come in, he's implemented ideas that have suited the team, which makes me think that the people upstairs knew what they were doing to appoint him. They knew that this manager suited the players in the squad that they've assembled, which you'd expect from a structure that implements like a director of football and trickling it down. It wasn't a panic appointment. It wasn't like Newcastle where they were interviewing Allegri or Eddie Howe, and they're completely different types of managers. There's a clear direction in place, and I wasn't sure about the appointment at the time, but again, I'm eating my words every time I come on at the minute.
I think that comes down to the fact that also we had no idea what to expect with him, really.
No, you're right.
But I mean, look, none of us watched the Scottish Premier Division, none of us watched the Liverpool under-18s either, so we didn't really know what to expect, but what we've seen so far has been nothing that's actually doubted him.
No.
I mean, we said it last week, just moving on slightly. We gave Konza the absolute, we couldn't run out of superlatives, to say with him. I was trying to think of one thing where I think he can improve, and he did it against Norwich. I think he's disciplined sometimes. He likes to wind up players, but this is just trying to think of just to throw something out there what Konza can work on. He gets some silly yellow cards, like holding onto the ball. Like I think it was Cantwell or someone that was like trying to grab the ball off him, and he was holding onto it for about 5-10 minutes. I think that's one thing he needs to.
He didn't even turn up against Burnley. Sure.
Sam.
It's too early in the episode. It's too early in the episode to bring up that hard side.
No, you're right. To be fair, I don't mind it because I don't see him at this moment in time as one of those players of responsibility. Like when Tyrone Mings gets booked for chucking the ball away, it does my absolute nutting. McGinn gets some silly yellow cards. For me, I see Konza's role in that team at the minute. Yeah, wind him up, wind up the opposition, get one of them books if you get booked yourself type of thing. But yeah, I agree with you. You know, he's not perfect, but he's still young.
He did it a few, didn't he do to Benteke, but he got him sent off?
He used to get Neil Maupay every single week as well. Every single week, every single time.
They used to play together, didn't they, back in the day as well, which I find mental.
Yeah. But I think sometimes if he was as composed as he was, sometimes in his own head, then when he is with the ball at his feet, he'd be playing with a cigar. Do you know what I mean? And but I was just trying to think of one thing because I honestly could not fault a single thing of his.
You tried hard then to think of something.
I know.
It's like trying to have a go at Margot Robbie, isn't it? Yeah, really tried hard there.
The extensions are rubbish. but yeah, exactly. That's the thing. But I think if that's the only thing you can pinpoint, I mean, what a player. Let's go on. I'll call him a Rolls Royce again. You know.
Yeah.
But absolutely superb.
I think you're looking at another £100 million player on your hands there with Ezra Konza.
Big shouts.
I can't disagree with it.
He's superb, isn't he? Another clean sheet as well. If anything, I thought Tyrone Mings he had one of his games where he was trying to be Beckenbauer a little bit at times, but
he was working.
There was that one where he was literally on his own byline and he just took it round the play. I was like, how have you've never had feet like that before?
Yeah.
But that's just a kind of breath of fresh air that a manager like Gerrard will bring in. See, I think that in terms of playing styles from when we have the ball, it's not too dissimilar to a Dean Smith side. No. I think the major takeaways of what the players have brought away from his playing style is that new defensive shape, that narrow front three, and it's just his actual leadership. He's just the Steven Gerrard.
Everybody knows.
Do you know what I mean? Like, you do look at Steven Gerrard on the side and you go,
Jesus Christ,
I don't want to upset him.
No, you don't, do you?
If you look at the bloke from Great Bar.
There
could be listeners from Great Bar.
But for us, we're local lads. We look at it and we go, I mean, that's Steven Gerrard there. It's a little bit older, rather than a Walsall. All right, maybe not a bloke from Great Bar, but a Walsall centre half
in the Premier League. I think is what you're looking for.
That's what it is. I'm looking at a Walsall centre half. I'd rather upset a Walsall centre half than a complete. Liverpool's his city, like he runs Liverpool. Do you know what I mean? Like he's an absolute joke. I've probably going to get a few letters in the post this Christmas. I've been crossed off a few Christmas lists there.
The Great Bar villains aren't happy. But no, I think it's more just about. I've said it before. When you got Gerrard on the sidelines, just his status in the game itself, just it makes the performance levels go up a level for me, and we're seeing it now. I did look at Smith on Tuesday, and I thought you've rushed into this massively. Yeah, he should. I looked on the sideline. I thought, but there's two things that I thought. One, it's probably his level. To be fair, two, I thought you've really rushed into this. Yeah. I genuinely think he could have got a much better job if we'd have waited. The Everton job's going to come knocking. I think the Leeds job could come knocking as well in the next few weeks. I just think he's rushed into that.
Just have a bit of time off anyway. You don't jump from the fire to the fire pan or whatever it's that phrase.
I don't think that's the phrase. But
it's close enough. I know it's not.
Normally quite good with this one.
Close enough. But yeah, I felt sorry for him because he must have been thinking, when we were 2-0 up and bopping it around and Olles, then he had the Villa end chanting his name. He must have felt sick because he's built that team and. I think he's a level above Norwich. I've come on here before and said that he'd be a potential England manager one day. But you're only as good as your last game as a manager at the minute. It's really short termism. I thought Bielsa was brilliant in the summer. Now I think he'll be the next manager to go. You're right though. He's rushed into it.
I think the thing is, it's just all barring a miracle. It's just a relegation in his CV that you didn't really need to have, is it?
Yeah. Then a rebuild. He tried that hard. I mean, how much effort did he put in the Villa to not get relegated? I've never known bloke work so hard to not get us relegated. He's gone to Norwich. You basically walk into relegation now. I just find it very unusual.
I think long term it'll be a decent job for him because he's the man to get them back up. But I think he's a bit.
You say this though.
Imagine if they stayed up though. That if you managed to keep them up though.
He says the man to bring them back up.
They are better than what they were.
They are, but he says the man to bring them back up. But if we're being quite honest about it, without Jack Grealish, you would never have got promoted at Villa.
I mean, he might have done.
He might have, but not
2 or
that
3 years.
quickly though.
Yeah.
He would have done it that quickly. He wouldn't have, and he wouldn't have been given 2-3 years either.
That championship's an absolute lottery. You know, it's all well and good saying, "Oh, we'll get them straight back up because he's got a promotion on his CV before." Steve Bruce is the living example of how difficult that division is. You know, it's fine lines, it's playoffs, it's referee decisions, it's offsides, it's who's got the most money, which Norwich don't seem to have.
Yeah.
It's really difficult, so I wouldn't have rushed into it.
In fairness as well, though, I mean, that championship when we was in it for those few years was actually a really good league. There was some good sides in there that would challenge you. Like you'd go to some places.
You got promoted, you got forgotten to you. You had Leeds, Newcastle,
Derby,
Nuno, Bielsa, Benitez all down there when we were there. It's nothing like that now.
It's nowhere near that now. I mean, look at that down the road. Albion, they don't even like their manager at the moment. They're winning games. They're finding their football absolutely disgusting. I don't think he'll find it too much of a hard time to get them back up, to be honest with you.
Be interesting though, wouldn't it? But I just think...
Yeah, I'll be watching from afar, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I hope he does well.
When I saw him on Tuesday, I thought he just looked a lost pup.
He just didn't need it, did he?
Nah.
7 days out the game.
I can't say anything, I'm not his agent,
years.
you know what I mean? But for them, innit?
He's his own man, isn't he?
Yeah.
But... fuck it, we're on the European tour soon.
Or are we?
Oh,
we'll be watching it from our television screens in a year's time when we're inevitably there after winning the FA Cup.
After winning the FA Cup, after beating United,
in the living room.
twice in a week.
On our 9th booster. This will be the last booster, lads. This will be the last booster. Then you can all go to the football after that.
Yeah. We might as well talk about it, mightn't we? What do we think? Do you think we'll be at games over Christmas? Do we?
Yeah, I mean, there's a circus in the town. Well, not our town. I think it's number 10 Downing Street. But you don't really know what they're going to pull out the hat next. I mean, how anyone can listen or believe into a word that they're saying after the stories that have been coming out recently. It's they're a laughing stock in the whole countries at the moment, and we're the people. It's the blind leading the blind or whatever it is. So I think that's probably a similar thing to jumping out the fire pan into the fire.
Yours was right.
Mine wasn't. But in this case, I think we can actually see what the bigger picture is, and they're just making it up as they go along. Who knows what we'll do? Are we going to be playing Chelsea on Boxing Day? I hope so. Is it going ahead? I
think the last month's shown as well as the last 18 to 2 years has that there's just no regard for football fans in this country. The summer proved, and last year proved, when every game is televised live, how much society relies on football to get people through mental health and the lockdown and everything that comes with it. The summer and the Euros, how much it brought the country together, got everybody going. And then you see them coming out last week and saying stuff like, only prioritise necessary things and socialise and don't go to football matches. For me, football matches, there's nothing more important when it gets to the weekend. Bar family and friends, then it's football for me. So they've got no regard, and I wouldn't be surprised if they just shut us straight back down again. Take it 6 months to get us back with 2,000 fans, 4,000 fans. Got the FA Cup coming up, and there's third round fixtures with non-league teams that could get a budget to get them through the next few years. It could be the difference between being the next Bury or kicking on, and it's going to get robbed away from them because this government can't be bothered to try and do anything that within reason. I'll get off my soapbox now, but it's just my idea.
On that though, Brett, as well. Even if they do stop fans going, none of these teams are even on. None of these non-league teams are even on TV. None of them have been selected.
So they're not going to get the money.
Disgrace. It's disgusting. I just can't talk about it. I think it generally makes me feel sick.
Yeah, well, you got United Villa, that obviously one of the most played FA third round games that there is. They've moved us to a Monday night. No one wants to go to that anymore. I mean, any other team in the country, non-league team, would be crying out for that slot on Monday night. BBC One, get that TV revenue in, and they'll give it to Man United and Aston Villa.
I know.
No one will even want to watch it on TV.
And we're just going to both sides are going to field some youth teams.
I don't think we will though. I don't. I think we'll play a strong team. Timmy Giles going to want to go there and not win. He's going to be all over it. He's going to be all over.
You're still going to be watching Wan-Bissaka right back for them.
Yeah, true.
It all depends. If we've had a bit of a break and a bit of a rest and had a couple of the injured lads back, there's no reason why we can't go full strength.
I think he will. I really think he'll go full strength in that game. Because I just think he'll go, why not?
Yeah, we'll see. On that note, again, about how the fans are the last ones in the pecking order. You had Bournemouth play Middlesbrough at 12:30. on Saturday as well.
Yeah.
So that's another one.
Yeah.
But who decides?
And they wouldn't have given it.
636 miles, that was.
And they wouldn't have given it a second thought to cancel it 2 hours before kick-off if there
Oh,
was one.
yeah.
If one of them had a cough.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
no
He
regard.
woke up with a frog in his throat. He can't play.
It's terrible. I mean, like over the Christmas period, football is everything over that period, isn't it? And look, I'll absolutely watch the games if they're on. That's going to happen. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm not going to watch the games. But it's just not the same, is it? It really isn't the same, is it?
No, I mean, I get how you can. I get that they called the game off because there's so many positive cases. I get it. If they're all tested positive, that's fair enough. You can't really do too much about that. But at the end of the day, they're all like this. I think they said there's like an 86% of the players and staff in the Premier League are all on the vaccination journey. So they're all either got their first, second, or third. I don't. You know what? We don't. Who the hell 2 years ago were we talking about all this?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous, isn't it?
What's the point?
Surely
of
they could have anticipated the positive test coming anyway,
Yeah.
to have let the fans know, or somebody could have made a decision Friday night, right, chances are we're going to have more positive cases, call the game off on a Friday night to stop all of these people travelling, and they would have understood probably, but there's no way in good conscience you can think it's a good idea to cancel a game 2 hours before kick-off on a Saturday. It's obscene.
Well, the Burnley fans would have made the trip. They'd have been pretty much in the pub in Birmingham. They'd have been ready to go, and then they've got to go back as well. So it's just, I think once you've got to that point, but they've all tested positive. So I don't know. And the thing is, they don't tell you who's tested positive either. So could we at least have some figures like how many? Why can't we field a team? Because it was 2 players like last week, and now it's on the morning of the game a week later, and
they'll know now whether or not Boxing Day will go ahead against Chelsea, but they'll wait and wait. They'll probably tell us all Christmas Day when we took it into our turkey.
It's joking.
Yeah,
but that's what I'm saying. If we've had 10 or 12 positive cases on Saturday, then that's 10 days that they've got eyes left for. So surely they can make the decision now. They can tell us now.
So surely tell it.
Yeah.
The game's on or the game's off.
Yeah.
They'll know now.
Yeah.
Got to tell us.
I'd rather play the kids and lose and then not play at all.
Yeah.
I really would. There's no the stop-start nature. It can't go on. We've got to just crack on now.
It's the reason why you have the squads that you do, isn't it?
Yeah.
Everyone's had everyone's had the opportunity to get vaccinated. So, and that was what was going to be the shining light to take us out of this and stop us having to do this kind of thing. The people that haven't decided to do so, here comes the
siren.
The weekly siren.
I actually thought we were going to get away with it.
Yeah. Because
everyone's going on the rob an hour before the podcast.
Yeah. Everyone's had the opportunity to get it now. I think if you're one of the people that haven't decided to get it, fair enough. But it's you live with that risk, and I think everyone can accept that. So why we're still in this pantomime of we're closing down, we're locking up, people aren't going to come and see here, people aren't going to do that. It's
interesting what Gerrard said a week or two ago about how he's not going to sign unvaccinated players in January.
Yeah, I don't think he said he wasn't going to sign.
Or just consider
it. I think it will be obviously
a consideration.
It will be on the scouting report, just like another thing. Like his passing's all right, he's double vaccinated plus. If he isn't, then I suppose there's a little bit of a liability there.
Right.
But he just said it'd be into consideration, which as you probably thought it would be. The amount of details that they go into these days, it'll be another thing that's considered. But yeah, flipping out.
It's a nightmare, isn't it? Never ended.
Moment of silence. A moment of reflection on the podcast then.
Christ.
Yeah. Well, nothing else needs to be said really, does it?
Just hope we play.
Yeah.
Predictions, please play.
Yeah.
Predictions.
I mean, I'd turn up on Boxing Day, and I'm sure 42,000 would to see.
I'd happily.
Philogene Bidace.
I'd happily.
Philogene
Bidace. Chukwuemeka try and absolutely tear up.
The thing
Mason Mount in midfield.
Yeah. All of us, 4 of us, went to go and watch. If I've got my dates right, I think it might have been Liverpool on the Saturday. Then we went down to Bodymoor Heath to watch the under-23 second team play against Blues, because the next day, the FA Cup.
FA Youth Cup.
FA Youth. So we played 3 games in 4 days with our squad. So surely we're in a position where we can get a game on Boxing Day. Because the season's just not going to get done otherwise.
Who knows what the next move is? I want to play. I want to be there on Boxing Day.
Yeah, I do as well.
That's the only thing that I've got to look forward
Boxing
to.
Day is all about football.
Yeah.
Some people, it's the only thing they've got on Boxing Day as well. Some people go on their own. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They have no regard for people who do that. It makes you feel sick, like I've said. And just get the game on. I don't care how it's happened. I don't care if we've got Mark Delaney in the dugout. You know, just get it on.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I hope he puts some trousers on though if he does come on.
At what point is it come down to personal choice though? You know what I mean? Like as we said, everyone that wants to get vaccinated has been vaccinated. What more can you do at this point? It's your own personal choice now. We're a year and a half, over a year and a half down the line. Let's just crack on. It's the new normal. Let's do it. Wear a mask if you want to. If you don't.
Yep.
Let's just play Chelsea on Boxing Day,
please,
and beat them.
Up the Villa.
Not the Villa.